Penelope. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. Hi.
I need to ask you something before we start. You look like a very confident woman. So, looking at you today, how you choose your outfit to come here?
Okay, so my style is I like a very showing the curves style, but at the same time feminine and delicate. So I always think about matching the curves and being cute because of my color, because of my height, I need to tone down a little bit with some cuteness.
About your confident, I know a lot of people see you on the internet like, oh, she concretes everything like easily. But knowing a little bit about your story, we know it's not the truth. So can you tell us about how you started?
Of course. I think to put you in perspective, I need to tell you the story of my life first, and then you're gonna understand how I've built the business of Penelope Gomes. So my mother, my biological mother, she gave me away. So 5 days before I was supposed to be born, she decided that she would give me away. She couldn't keep me, and she said this to the doctor, and the doctor found a family to me. Now, this family was found 1 day before I was born.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it was really
Close.
almost, going to an orphanage. And I was lucky enough to be chosen to have a family. And I also had a quite good upbringing. I had a comfortable life, but I was very different than everybody around me. That was the problem. I was in Curitiba, a very European city in Brazil.
Yes.
And I was the only one in my surroundings with dark skin color, with very curly hair, very afro hair. And my family was really different than me. So very early, my extended family, for example, cousins, uncles, they couldn't really accept me. They would treat me in a very different way, not wanting to be surrounded by me. So just for you to have a perspective, if I was in the same room with my cousins, they would, the moment I would arrive and sit in the same bed, they would leave from that bed and say, we don't want to be with an adopted dark person.
How old are you at this moment?
I would say around 7.
You start realize
6, 7.
you are different.
That I realized that I was different. I was very different. And very early in life, I understood what it was racism. And racism means people are disgust of you. So really early, I decided that I needed to be accepted by people. So I had this very strong thing in my mind that I needed people to love me. I needed people to accept, and I needed to belong somewhere.
And you probably live your choices, what you want to be accepted in this environment.
Always. Always accepted in a different environment. Never being truly who I was.
And if you can speak something to your younger yourself.
That's a very good question. I would say, I hear you. Anything you need, I'm here to give it to you.
You don't need to be accepted.
No.
You just need to be you.
I can hear you. The older self can hear that little self. And in fact, this is an exercise that I had to do in order to become a confident woman, in order to build the life that I have today. I really had to have this talk with my younger self.
Okay. And then you grow up in this environment.
Yeah. So then when I was 7, so I think when my cousins were treating me like that, I was around 6. And then when I was 7, something happened to me. I was abused. Somebody touched me from my extended family. And the worst thing about that is that I kept going to the same place for quite a while before telling my family, before telling my mother about this, because I wanted so much to be accepted by my cousins
You cannot
that
say anything.
that I didn't say anything, and that I kept having that experience over and over again just because I wanted to be loved by the other children.
Oh.
So really early, I understood that my voice didn't matter.
Okay.
Then obviously, after those experiences, when I became a teenager, I became a quite rebellious person. I got involved with drugs. I got involved with the wrong people. And then when I was 17, I decided to go to Malta.
You always wanted Malta, or
No, I just wanted to run away. Wherever I would go, it was fine. I just didn't want to be in that environment anymore. I didn't felt valued in that environment. So anyway, the growing up, there was a lot of rejection, a lot of abandonment. So my self-esteem in that stage, you can imagine it was super low. Super low. I would just follow the wind, so I would
do
be...
whatever
Yes.
you feel.
Yes. Yes. And then I went to Malta, so I left. I was 17. I was super young to go to another country. I left very brave, very courageous. And
But you think you are going to solve all your problems going? And when you arrive, what do you just find out?
I found out that I got all my problems with me. They were over here. They were deep in my soul. My traumas were deep in my soul. So wherever I would go, I would attract, I would make bad choices. And that's what I've done. So in Malta, I thought that I would have that freedom, that you know, my life would start fresh. And when you go abroad, it's even harder because you don't have family, you don't have support,
We're alone.
you don't have friends, right? And at that stage, I didn't speak English either. So I started from zero, below zero, I would say. And then when I was 23, I got pregnant.
There.
And yes, in Malta. So I got pregnant with a Maltese man, right? And I had my son when I was 24. And then
Very young.
super young, and without the support system, right? Because at that stage, all my friends, they were young as well. And when you have young friends, they don't even know what you're going through.
And in this moment, you are working there in whatever you can find.
Yes, my first jobs in Malta was, I was a waitress for 2 years. And then I started selling cigarettes. I started selling Marlboro. I would go to shop by shop. And I would do very low income salaries, whatever it takes for me to survive. I was in a survival mode.
Then you met this guy.
Yeah, I met the father of my son. At that point, he gave me a lot of support. But then, again, I became a dependent woman, right? Because he had the home, he had a better
Money.
income, and I became the woman that dependent on a man. And this is very, very, you need to be very careful with that. I think if you are a couple and you agree that this is something that should happen and you value each other, great, I support that. But if you don't have that strong communication, this is very dangerous because it opens the gates for the man to do not treat you very right.
And you as already not in the better place
No.
because you keep going with your trauma, trying to survive in another country, but find a man and start this relationship when you are not good or
With myself.
Yes.
Actually, because I've been rejected many times since mother, biological mother, etc. I was looking for relationships that would give me a crisis, right? So I was looking for this, and that's what I got. I was looking for someone that would kick me out, right?
Okay. Yes.
So at that stage, I became very dependent on him because we made a decision that whilst I was pregnant, I would let it go of work and start taking care of our son the moment he would be born. And when my son was 3 months old, we got separated. And that was really hard because, first of all, I was really scared to be a mom.
Alone
I
in
was
the new
really
country with a
Young,
baby.
I had no idea. I was really scared. And then I realized that, okay, now I really have no one.
And with your baby, you think your life, you give another reason to a meaning, like you are on this place that you need to be accepted by whatever, and you accept a relationship was not good for you. So you have a child, you think with the baby, you feel the need to be okay. Now I need to be stronger than I already was to have a full meaning for my baby.
Not really. Not really. When I was 24, I didn't have that mindset. I think I was so scared. I think I didn't know what to do. So my life went down. I panicked. I felt that I was so unstable in that stage that it was better for my son to be with his grandmother than me. I didn't trust myself to be a mom. And this is so interesting because I experienced the same feeling that my biological mother actually had with me.
Okay.
Which is, your life is a mess. You can't really support yourself. How can you support a child? So, no, I didn't have that strength in that moment. I've built that strength, I think, 2 years later. It took me 2 years feeling that I didn't deserve to be a mom. You can ask me if I had postpartum depression. Could it be? But I know that in the first 2 years, I didn't want that responsibility. And this is very painful to say because when you are a mother, there's a lot of guilt behind that, When you say, okay, I didn't connect with my son straight away, it took me time, you feel, oh my God, what type of mother am I? And deep inside, many women go through this. It's not only me. I've spoken to many mothers, they go through the same thing. And it's interesting because a woman, naturally, the human being, after they build a family, a woman should have the man to protect her. Should have, so she can relax and raise the child. I didn't have that.
Enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Because it's a happy moment.
Yeah, I didn't have that. I had, the moment we broke up, I found myself without a home, without money, without job, and really scared to be a mom. And it was very tough because I didn't feel capable to give him a good life. Exactly like my biological mother felt.
You think it's like your life in this moment make a full circle? Like when you were born to this moment?
I think in that moment I could understand her better, and something came down in my heart. Definitely. Something clicked in my heart.
And you have the feeling that your son is your anchor. Like, I need to
Definitely.
be.
My son is my anchor because so picture this. I didn't have the money. I didn't have support system. Even my friends, they were too young to really understand what I was going through. I didn't have the confidence or any skill set that could bring me to a very good type of job. So I knew that I would have to start very low. And I couldn't bring my son to Brazil, right? So I'm Brazilian. I couldn't bring my son to Brazil. The father wouldn't allow, obviously, because he would think that imagine if she takes him away.
And
And that's
disappear.
very understandable. I don't judge that. So I understood very, very quickly that I'm stuck in this country. I cannot ever go back home. I can never go back home. I need to stay here for my son. And I made the decision to stay for my son. So I started accepting my reality. It took time.
You never consider like, oh, I don't have anything here anymore. I lost the only thing that I have was your son. So I going back to Brazil to start again.
Of course, many times. But I couldn't. The love that I had
Stronger.
built with my son was much stronger. So if his home is there, my home is there. This is my home. Took time. I can't deny. But this is something that we need to say as well, that apart from that, because I didn't have that stability, etc., I lost my son, right? I lost that custody because court decided that, I mean, she doesn't
You
have
cannot
that
support.
stability. And that was one of the hardest moments. And that was the key moment that shifted for me. And I said, I need to do this for me and my son. When I found myself in an apartment with strangers, because I couldn't afford an apartment for myself and my son, counting coins. I didn't have a note, it was coins. I realized, okay, I need to do this for my son. He doesn't deserve to grow up seeing this type of mother.
You need to rebuild yourself to be able
Completely.
to support him.
I had to let it go, the person from the past, and rebuild myself in all ways. And I used God a lot for this. I've prayed every single day. And I did a very interesting exercise I never shared with anyone. But I remember that I would close my eyes and see myself sitting next to God. And that He would be next to me, saying to me, I know what you want, and it's yours. I wouldn't ask for anything. So I wouldn't say, I want this, I want that. I would just hear Him saying to me, I know what you want, and it's yours. I would do this every single day.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. Very nice exercise. Very special exercise. You know, like, and then slowly, I also started writing it down, the type of feeling I wanted for my life. So I would live in a misery, total misery, debt, because I was in court with the father of my son. The lawyers needed me to pay, and I couldn't afford the lawyers, and total disaster in my life. But I would start seeing my life as if everything is at peace. Everything is okay. I don't ever worry about the money. So I had to
Fake
become
until you
crazy.
make it.
I had to become quite crazy in my brain. Because at some point when you are in debt, when you have minus 5,000 euros, minus 10,000 euros, you become crazy. You barely can sleep at night. And I realized that I was getting sick. So I said, I need to believe that there is a different life for me out there, and I need to create that.
Yes. So you start imagine what you want in your life.
I wouldn't start imagining. I would live it.
Okay.
So let's say we are here, me and you, okay? But I would feel it as if we are on a stage with 1,000 people. But I'm here with you. But my feeling is that there's 1,000 people in front of us.
Okay.
So you understand how it was. I played a lot with my reality. And it's very interesting because you start feeling so positive that certain signs start coming to you. You start seeing certain things and it clicks in your mind. And there was a day that I was quiet alone in my apartment, and I saw an article. And this article was saying about a woman that was a millionaire, and that with microblading, she became this millionaire. And she was a single mother. She was with 90,000 reais in debt. And her car was restricted as well. And that she reached to this point because she had a bad relationship with her husband.
A lot of things that
I got
you
in shock. I got totally in shock. I said, this is it. This is it. And then the deeper I went through it, I realized that, okay, this profession can give me 300 euros an hour. What other job can give me 300 euros an hour? And I started calculating, what if I do 10 a month? For me, 10 clients a month, 3,000 euros a month, it was already amazing. Imagine 5 per day. Imagine 7 per day. And I decided that, okay, I never thought that I would do brows. It's not something that I dreamt of, right? Like, oh, I want to do brows. But I said, if it's one technique, if I study enough, one day I will become good at it. One day I will become good at it, no matter how long it takes. I wasn't thinking about the end goal. I was thinking about how many hours do I need to study every day so I can become good at it. And that's what I've done. I was in a very bad stage and I started studying this. I got obsessed with this on the internet. And then I called my dad and I told him, Dad, this is the last time I will call you for something. I promise that if you bring me to Brazil to learn that, this time it will be worth it. He believed, he saw how serious I was. And then I went to Brazil to learn. And I wanted Brazil because I knew that the technology that there was in Malta wasn't that advanced, and that the Brazilian technique would be way more natural. And I wanted to bring something different to Malta. And that's what I've done. I went there. I've learned. I came back. I started working with a clinic. Very soon, my name started growing. I separated from that clinic. And then I started my own.
How many years you work in the clinic?
6 months.
Oh.
6 months. But when I say obsession, I've built an obsession. I would spend my night. So I would work the whole day. I was a person that, for this employee, I would arrive anytime she wants, and I would leave till the last client. I wouldn't care, 8 hours per day. No, whatever it takes, I would be here because I need to learn this. And I would give a lot of love to my clients. That was something that was very different about me. I didn't have any arrogance with my clients because it was so important to have one client for me. I knew that every one client I was closer to my dream.
Doing brows is a personal experience with the clients, right?
Very personal.
You spend an hour with each person.
It's very personal. And this is where my real purpose comes. Because when my clients laying down with me, they always leave from that chair a different person. Because it's such a deep therapy. I always bring that to my work. It's not only about their beauty. It's also about them finding themselves. It's also about sharing my story with them and them understanding that they can change their life at any time if they want to. So it's very special. And that's how I started becoming known in Malta. Because there was a unique experience. Because beautiful brows anyone can do. But the experience that you have with that person that can change your life forever, this is the unique point.
That proof that your life can change completely. So you can say the decisions that you make in this particular time change your life forever.
Completely. And look how I thought. So the first decision is I am in the end of the end. There's nothing I can do. I don't have skill set. I don't have nothing. So first, I need to change my mind. I need to believe that something better can happen for me. I cannot continue thinking that I'm the victim. So the first shift was I changed from the victim mentality to, you know what, I can create my life. And that's what I've done with my mind. Second, after your mind changes, after you become more positive, you will be more alert with the opportunities that are out there. So you're going to learn to be more alert. So I saw a job on a shop called Colchi. It's a very famous Brazilian shop. In Malta they have as well. And I realized that why did I decide to go to that Colchi? Because the owner of that specific shop had other shops and had a lot of employees that there were women.
You saw opportunity to share your job.
So I thought in my mind, I'm learning these brows. First of all, I need to understand what they want. What do they want? I need to understand women better. So in that job, I got the opportunity to, number one, feel as if something was mine. So I would treat that shop as if it's mine. I would never see that shop as I am the employee. Whatever they needed, I would be there. Because my mind was already there that I am an owner of something. Then I also paid attention on every single client that would come to me. I would ask them questions. What's important for your beauty? What do you think about your eyebrows, etc.? And I would introduce myself as the eyebrow girl. I would introduce myself. And also the employees. I would say to the employees, I do brows. So like this, I would have already people knowing what I do. Now, that stage is before I went to work with that lady.
Okay.
Okay, just so you understand, because I jumped from... That stage was before. So the moment I started working with that lady, I already had a network of people that knew that I was an eyebrow technician. Okay, so this was a very important decision, you know. The decision was, the salary was low. It wasn't about the salary. And this is what very few people understand. It's not about the salary. Is this going to give me an opportunity to achieve to where I want at some point? Yes or not? Take the sacrifice. Don't be a princess. Take the sacrifice. And then you will get there. It's just one step in the stair.
Yeah. I was going to ask about that. If someone is listening right now and feel is on the rock bottom of her life, what are you going to say to her? But I think you already told a lot. But if you can say a little more.
I'm going to break down to make it easier. First, create in your brain a reality that doesn't exist until you start believing it. Because nothing will change. You know, rock bottom means you don't have support. And you need to first build the strength within yourself to see opportunities. So first create that reality in your brain. Be crazy. You can be crazy. We are creators, you know. Then, after that, you will already get more aware of things. Think about what you want to achieve. Create this dream, create a vision board, do whatever it takes. And then after that, you think, okay, what around me is the closest thing to my dream? In my case, the closest thing to my dream was to be surrounded by women, because they were going to be my clients.
You need to listen what
I needed to
say.
pay attention what they needed, because I needed to give what they needed. And that's how you start building up. And believe me, when you create this reality in your mind, when you really trust, when you have faith, what does it mean, faith? Faith means that you believe on your imagination. Use your imagination. This is a gift that we have. Everybody has this. So you create this faith, and then believe me, the right people will come to you. And this is another point that I want to say that it's very important. Everybody says don't share your dreams, right? Because they are jealous people, blah, 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 blah.
Only when you make it.
Yes,
share.
yes, this is an advice. But when you are in the rock bottom, sharing your dreams or not sharing your dreams is not going to make any difference. Your life cannot get worse, believe me. So in that case, I was sharing my dream to everybody around me. And then I shared my dream with so much passion that I had angels in my life that helped me to achieve this dream. So share your dream. And share with passion. Because for sure, someone will believe in it.
Is going to be listen and
it
going
will
to
support.
stand your hand. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very, very much. I love to hear your story. And yes, thank you.
Yay. Thank you. It was a pleasure.